In this video, I want to talk about the 29-gallon Guppy breeding tank, what I've got going on inside, and what it's actually used for in the fish room. So let's go ahead and dive in. What is going on, everybody, and welcome. If this is our first time meeting, I am Kendall Water from Otter Creek Aquatics, and here on this channel we talk about things like fish breeding, planted tanks, and even some tips and tricks that can help you grow your aquarium keeping skills. So if you're interested in learning any more about any of those topics, or just like the aquarium hobby in general, then go ahead and consider subscribing and ringing that little notification bell. That way you get notified every time I upload my weekly videos. Now let's go ahead and dive into that 29-gallon Guppy breeding tank. So one of the first questions that I want to cover in this video is why guppies? Because I know myself and a lot of other guppy keepers get this question, because everybody thinks that they're a beginner fish and there's so much more badass fish out there in the aquarium hobby. Yes, that may be true, but the challenge of actually breeding a strain of guppies is more difficult than one would think, because you are constantly having to cull fish, which means if you produce an offspring that doesn't look exactly like the parents or what you're going for, you have to pull that fish out, and this could take years to actually find a strain or a type of color or finnage that you're actually going for in a fish. And that is why it makes guppies so challenging. Yes, I could throw them in a 29-gallon tank like this and let them interbreed until this tank is just completely overpopulated. Yeah, that is easy. But the whole reason for this 29-gallon tank is for my culls, because I have 18 different tanks where I'm line breeding endlers and guppies. So all of my culls actually go in this 29-gallon tank. That way I'm not just killing them off or feeding them to another fish. I simply put them in this 29-gallon tank and let them breed out. If there's a strain that I see from this 29-gallon tank, then I'll try to pull that strain out and then try to line breed that strain. And that's the whole fun and challenging part of actually keeping and breeding guppies. So one thing in particular when it comes to this tank I want to talk about is the plants. Now this is a fairly simple setup, and it's got more of a jungle theme going on rather than a very particular aquascape. So if you can see right here in the middle, we've got a pretty large and nice looking Amazon sword, and then surrounding it, I just surrounded it with Crypt Winty. And this has a mixture of the green variation and the red variation, just so it gives it a little bit more contrast and a little bit more texture in the tank. I've also got just a stem of the Hygrophila willow, because this plant is just exploding in every single one of my tanks, so I'm just spreading the love to the 29-gallon. So now that we've had a closer look at the 29-gallon Guppy breeding tank, and we've talked a little bit about its purpose in the fish room, so to speak, I want to hear from you guys about your Guppy breeding tanks and possibly your breeding projects. So let me know down in the comments below if you've got a Mutt Guppy breeding tank or any line breeds that you've got going on. Definitely let me know. And how do you plant your Guppy breeding tanks? Do you just do a jungle theme? Do you use some moss, guppy grass, or do you do a very specific and very beautiful aquascape? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. Keep following your dreams, keep inspiring, and until next time, everybody, see you. I'm coming right away.